Hello, my name is Bianca. I'm a rapid transformational therapist, a life coach, and the owner of Heart Wellness. And today I want to talk to you about the toolbox that we have for treating depression. So basically, if you ask a psychiatrist, they will say that depression is a chemical imbalance, an imbalance of neurotransmitters in the brain, like dopamine or serotonin. And they are mostly right. Many people who do have depression, they do have this imbalance. But that doesn't talk about why. Why do we get the imbalance? So what's the reason for the imbalance, right? If you ask a psychologist, the psychologist will tell you that it probably has to do with some kind of childhood trauma. And yes, that's true too. In my experience, there's a childhood trauma, and then there's some kind of a trigger in the now that actually has made that trauma come forward in form of depression. Like, look at it, deal with it. And then, of course, there's a lot of theories about what depression is, but obviously, depression is not just in the brain. It's not just chemical. It's not just some thoughts that you have about what happened to you in the past, and it's not just the trigger that happened today. It's several layers, obviously. So there is obviously a reason. There is a trauma in your past, and there is a trigger now, and then because of that, you have a chemical imbalance in the brain. So it's on several layers. People who work with trauma know that trauma is not only in your soul or in your mind, but it's in your body. And many people know that. They know that because they get some kind of psychosomatic symptoms. Like I had, for example, back pain. I had a lot of back pain with no reason. It was just there, and it was there for years. And I did a lot of treatment. I got medicine, I got heat treatment, I got physiotherapy, and it went away always for a little bit, and then it came again. Once I treated my depression, when I was rid of the depression, then slowly the back pain started to go away, and now I'm completely free of back pain. Other people develop some kind of an immune disease, like an allergy or fibromyalgia or even cancer. It's all because the body also stores the trauma. If it's not dealt with, it will come up. It will come up in a form of psychosomatic issues or even sickness or depression. So now that we know that trauma is not just in your mind or in your brain or in your chemistry, so it's obviously it's physical, but it's also on a soul level, if you want, so on a heart level, obviously, and also in your energy body. And guess what? The good part is that you can address any of these layers to heal trauma and thus depression or even autoimmune diseases. Any of these will help. If you address several of these, of course, you will get much faster there. So let's talk about what kind of tools do we have? What are we talking about here? So if we take a look at the physical part, like that chemical imbalance part and the psychosomatic issues and all of that, what you can do is, first of all, do a blood work and take a look at your vitamin levels. Take a look especially at vitamin D, at magnesium, at calcium, iron, the B vitamins, and vitamin C and zinc. So you can supplement these. And for me, it really worked miracles. I was taking pills for being able to sleep for years, and they didn't help. I used to sleep 4 hours for like 8 years. And the first evening when I took magnesium, I was able to sleep. I was so angry at all those doctors I have been, and never ever checked on the magnesium. Never ever give it the idea, let's check, maybe she just needs magnesium. Nope. And it's very easy. All of the vitamins and minerals that I've just mentioned, the body uses them to actually convert those neurotransmitters, to convert amino acids into neurotransmitters. There are a lot of chemical reactions that are going on in your body, and for those to happen, your body needs those nutrients. So take a look at that. Then on a physical level, we had that before, if you are able to do some kind of exercises, yoga, some kind of activity, go outside. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go jogging for an hour each day or something like that. Just take a walk. It can help already. Also, take a look at your diet. For me, it was a big difference when I switched to a ketogenic diet. And a ketogenic diet is high fat, high protein, and no carbs. And it was difficult for a couple of weeks because I used to eat a lot of comfort food, which was very high in sugar. And I also used to drink alcohol. So I needed to give both of those up. And it was very, very difficult for like 2 weeks. But after 2 weeks, all those cravings went away. After 2 weeks, when your body has not so much sugar in it anymore, the craving for sugar is also going away once your insulin levels are being regulated. So try that out. There's even doctors who do amino acid therapies, so giving the body enough amino acids so it can actually make all those chemicals that it needs. So take a look into that. Then obviously we have a mental level, right? Take a look into the trauma. Classical psychotherapy obviously helps, but it takes a lot of time. It takes years to be able to heal trauma with classical psychotherapy. Then there's obviously rapid transformational therapy, what I do, which is very fast indeed. So you can get to the root cause of whatever caused your depression and thus start a healing in as little as 3 sessions. In 3 sessions, you know what has caused that, and then your healing can begin. And many people just feel better after already 1 session. Some of them obviously need more, and obviously there's a lifestyle change involved in getting rid of depression, right? So we don't have to forget that aspect. But rapid transformational therapy is very, very effective in depression. And then obviously we have all the other layers. If you are someone who believes in energy work, then please do that. Please try it out. You know, if you are able to feel that, if there is something that is resonating with you, energy healers do have very good results with depression. And then what you can also do on the mind level is neurofeedback. Well, neurofeedback is a process. You get like a cap on your head, and that cap is measuring your brain waves. So obviously your brain emits a lot of electricity, which makes brain waves measurable. And if you go to do neurofeedback, then your brain waves are being measured and your depression can actually be seen. And that was also something that gave me somehow a lot of comfort to know that they can actually see my depression in my brain waves. It's like I'm not just making that up. I'm not just, being a brat or anything else, or being ungrateful, but there is indeed something going on. There was indeed measurable depression there. So that helped me really understand and be more nice to myself. So it will measure your brain waves, and then you will sit in front of a screen, and you will have some music, some auditive input, and each time your brain waves are not as they should be, that device will give you an acoustic or a visual signal. What happens then is that the brain picks up on that and it basically regulates itself, because obviously we all have this enormous capacity for healing in us. So if the brain gets the input, oh, there is something which is not going right, then it has the capacity to regulate itself. So my story was that I did that first EEG to start with the neurofeedback sessions, and it takes a lot. It might take 20 sessions, or it might take more. It takes months and months of neurofeedback actually to repair brain waves, let's put it like that. But after my first neurofeedback session, I had my first ayahuasca session. And I've talked about that in a video before, and ayahuasca is basically a psychedelic substance that they are using in the Amazon, and it gives you visions, but it also works with your brain in that it deactivates the default mode network in the brain and makes new connections. So it's like a reset for the brain. And I did an EEG after that session. And guess what? My brainwaves were repaired. So what would have taken months of neurofeedback has happened in 2 nights in my first 2 ayahuasca ceremonies. So that's an extraordinary way. Again, I've talked about this before. Psychedelics obviously are a wonderful way to get rid of depression, and not just depression. So these are the tools that I have used, I have tried, and I can encourage you to try them as well for yourself. There's a lot of things that you can do. There's more, of course. If you want to find out more, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. And until then, see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye.